Welcome back into the Daily Dose. I'm Jeff Hansen. As always, the show's brought to you by Give'emHellBrigham.com and by CougarSportsInsider.com, part of the 24/7 Sports Network. Thank you to those of you who have already subscribed to the channel. If you haven't done so yet, please do. Hit the subscribe button. Let's fuel the algorithm. Like the video, leave a comment, all those things that help us grow this platform. Thank you so much for your support. Today, I want to address two questions that I've been asked what feels like every day for months, but in reality, it's been every day for the last week or so. Two questions, not at all related to one another, but two questions that I think are clearly on the forefront of BYU fans' minds. So let's address them the best way that I know how. First, what is going on with Maealiuaki Smith? And second, what is going on with the Royal Blue, BYU's official collective? Let's start with the collective. What's going on with the collective? They're just doing their thing, man. They're quietly working behind the scenes. And frankly, that's what I would like to see from a collective. I don't want the Royal Blue to be at the forefront of everything that BYU does. I don't want this to be the public marketing arm of the Royal Blue. I want the Royal Blue to be supporting BYU and BYU student athletes behind the scenes, not making it about themselves, just doing their thing. And that's exactly what they're doing. We've seen things like volunteer time at food banks. We've seen a lot of players are going through safe training to support victims or to identify people who are part of child trafficking. There's been lots of things that the Royal Blue is doing. I know there's been a lot of mentor-mentee relationships that have been facilitated. And yes, there's been a lot of NIL deals and a lot of cash that's being given to players. There's no question about that as well. But let's talk about it. Why are we not seeing it marketed, broadcasted from a BYU perspective? Because the Royal Blue doesn't work for BYU, period. And I think that BYU fans, we have this tendency because of the way BYU handled their built deal and some of these other ones, we have this misconception that every player on the roster is going to benefit from the collective. And that's true that they can, but it isn't that every player is going to benefit in terms of getting a big endorsement check from a local company facilitated by the Royal Blue Collective. That's just not how it works. The collective doesn't have to do it for every single player. They'll do it for as many as they can, but if you only have finite resources, you're, of course, going to put those resources where they matter the most. And from the collective standpoint, that's the basketball team, it's the girls' basketball team, and that's the top, say, 40, 50, maybe 60 guys on the football roster. That's where money has gone so far. If you want to see that money extended to other sports, to more players, then you got to donate to the Royal Blue Collective. It's hard to do. I get it. I understand. From a corporate sponsorship standpoint, it makes more sense to go directly to BYU than it does to the Royal Blue Collective. It just does. You get more benefits donating to the Cougar Club than you do to the collective. But the Cougar Club isn't facilitating money to players and helping in that regard. The Royal Blue is. And that really is what it boils down to. If you want to see more player support, you've got to donate to a collective. If you just want the benefit for yourself, which is great, which is perfectly fine, then the Cougar Club is where you go. But until we see more money being given to the Royal Blue Collective, I think we'll continue to see them work with specific players, maybe the top half of the football roster, certainly basketball, girls basketball. We'll continue to see that be the emphasis, and it has been the emphasis so far, and it's changing the lives of people. There's no question about it. They're doing a good job. Now, back to the first question that I've been asked a bunch. Maealiuaki Smith, what's going on? Why hasn't he committed? I don't know why he hasn't committed. He's doing things. He's handling things with the media, with coaches on this recruiting trail. He's handling things like a player who was just finalizing his decision and going through the last few things before he makes a commitment announcement. But he's been handling it like that for a few weeks. And so I've been covering BYU recruiting for Rivals or for 24/7 Sports for about 10 years now. And this is a unique situation for me. I've got to say, I haven't seen a recruit handle it like this for this long without making a decision in the entire time I've been covering recruiting. So it's very unique. And I think we're starting to see from BYU's perspective that they are, I don't want to say running out of patience, but they are a little bit running out of patience. A new quarterback offer went out yesterday to Noah Lugo out of Texas, currently committed to UTSA. And to me, that's an offer that's a signal to Smith that, hey, BYU is not going to wait around forever We need you to make a decision because we can't risk, we being BYU, of course, we can't risk going into the season and then you deciding to go somewhere else. And now we don't have any plans, backup plans, or anything else in place. That to me feels like the message that BYU is trying to deliver to Maealiuaki Smith of, hey, we'll keep waiting for you, but this is no longer an exclusive relationship. We will go out and find other players the longer this goes on. And I think that's the right call for BYU. That is a big risk to take. However, BYU still wants Maealiuaki Smith. Don't question that at all. This is not a situation that BYU has cut ties and moved on entirely. They're just starting to put other ducks in place so that they have a plan in place if Smith does something, if Smith goes somewhere else or makes a decision that BYU is not the place for him. So what's going on? It's tough to say, but BYU, you're going to see this week, I think, more action from the BYU side, and we'll see what happens and how Smith reacts to that. Maybe he solidifies the decision that, oh, well, wait, I do want BYU. They won't wait. I'll jump on that offer. Or maybe he moves on and BYU takes some of these other options that we'll see over the course of the next week or two, in my mind. And that's the new plan A for the Cougars going forward. We'll see what happens, but that's where things stand right now. Thank you so much for tuning into the Daily Dose. Appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with us. Hit that subscribe button, and until next time, give them hell.